So St Kilda have won the toss and will kick right of screen. On the bench for St Kilda, Joe McLaren in the side to replace Nicky Winmar with Robert Neal and Wakeland. And on the bench for Geelong, Bitterscombe, Tanner and Brewer in the side to replace Gary Ablett. Vidovic and King. King right hand down. Straight back into the centre. The Cats in at it hard. Colbert first one to step free and gets out relatively easy. Taken in the Daniels tackle. Burke, the quick kick out of the centre. None better at that than he. Doesn't quite clear the area and the pressure right in amongst it. And Luke Beveridge picks up the early free kick. Beveridge out to Young. The start all important for St Kilda as they push forward to centre half forward. Vidovic behind King. The big fella does very good at ground level. To Hocking. Feeds back to Handley. Wider still to McGrath. And Geelong have a little bit of space to push it out towards the outer side. And Hall on the half-back flank.
He's had a very good season, Hall. Kicks the ball up where Joel Smith, showing courage, goes back and takes the mark. Smith and Brown have both been very good players, along with Jones, just all in their second season of league football. St Kilda certainly building their future around those three youngsters. Smith. Beautiful kick down towards half-forward line, looking down there for low, taken by Hocking to Handley, to McGrath. So the Cats, with plenty of numbers, to Sanderson. Feeds it off to Big King. So it's just all handball. As Simpson pumps it back to 50. Big punch away down there by Young of St Kilda. Vidovic can't take control. Bowled over by Hall. Neal. So we've got a ball up right on the front edge of the centre square.
And Lee Barnes at full forward against Jamie Shanahan doesn't quite look the same.
Yeah, a bit different there. I was actually looking up the other end. Barry Stone, who started the game on Stuart Lowe, but has gone back to the true full-back position on Everett because Lowe is playing as a centre half forward and Handley is now picking him up.
So St Kilda, the quick kick out. Lappin beautifully out to the wing. Burke under a little bit of pressure, no support. Great tackle there from Mansfield. Now the support's there from Young. Around towards half-forward flank, Low in front. First mark for the leading mark taker in the competition, up towards his big partner in Everett. Bundle out of the way. Geelong looking to relieve. Sanderson's pushed it out towards McKinnon. Jones there right with him, and both players now see it over the boundary line. Stuart Lowe and Peter Everett, the two talls in the St Kilda forward line. Everett, the one on this occasion, to do the ruck work against Stephen King. Everett gets it down with the left hand. McKinnon, quick hands, Harvey. Ball goes nowhere now through Colbert. Quick exchange. The run from Kilpatrick on the left foot. Pressured kick doesn't really go where he would want it. St Kilda with a three there. Serakowski over to Lappin, to Brown in the centre of the ground, takes the mark. And Tony Brown, heavy knock early in the year. A little bit of a slow pitch on the start of his season, but now running right back into form. Brown receives again from Lappin on the burst. Left foot out in front of Lowe, it falls short. Jones on his left foot, he's confident enough and goes out and he's got it. St Kilda's first goal, Austin Jones on the left foot, right where he should have been.
This is certainly a good finisher, Austin Jones, left to right foot when he has an opportunity to score. Actually, the setup, Lappin, we see number 22, who started that off. He and McGrath have started for Geelong, have started at loose men at the opposite ends of the ground. I think it's been instituted by Geelong, who are playing one less forward and one extra defender. But certainly a good start. If there's an attitude in this first few minutes of the game, I think St Kilda are the one who look like they're here to play.
A couple of very interesting matchups. Sean Simpson playing on Robert Harvey, Nathan Burke on Gary Hocking. Vidovic wins the tap. Kilpatrick. Started with the Bombers, one of McGarry medal, now gets his chance with the Cats. It's been marked by Hocking, quick hands to Hall outside 50, goes short. He's looking for Barnes, who's lined up at full forward. No Gary Ablett today. Shanahan just punches the ball over the line. Jamie Shanahan started his career with Fitzroy. 95 AFL games, yet to kick a goal. Vidovic versus Barnes. Saints lead 1 goal, 6 points. The Cats yet to score. Young Matthew Robbins has come into the side with Ablett going out. Just forces the ball over. So we see Brewer on the bench there and Bitterscombe. Brewer, of course, also into the side. And Grant Tanner sitting on the interchange bench. Harvey Lappin, who's been in the action, happy to force the ball over from Robbins. Be interesting, Lee, to see how the Geelong forward line can work with no Gary Ablett.
Well, Graham's at centre half forward and Barnes at full forward, so very unusual or key position forwards.
Barnes beaten by Vidovic, taken away by Robbins. Centres the ball back towards Riccardi. He's got a chance, he's got pace, he should kick a goal on his left boot. He screws it around. It's a great kick by Peter Riccardi.
And it was a good finish, wasn't it? Really, it really just bounced out of the reach of the St Kilda player. And once you could see that Riccardi, from this flowy quick kick forward, centred the ball just over the fingertips. And once Riccardi had a few moves to spare, turned onto the left foot, and very good ball control and a very good finish from that half chance.
So Peter Riccardi, the #2 goal scorer down at Geelong behind Gary Ablett. So most important in Ablett's absence here today. Geelong move for under pressure here. Very good work from Beveridge to Smith. The left foot tossed around, looking for Lowe, but Handley has him well covered and takes the ball over the line and out of bounds. Stephen Handley, an injury late last week in the game, a calf injury, but seems to be quite okay this week. #1 for Geelong, Stephen King. Up and coming ruckman, some 200 centimetres. But Low wins on this occasion, hocking the quick kick, just getting the ball free. Riccardi under pressure from Cripps. Brown to Burke, met very heavily by Mansfield. The ball spill frees, the Saints staying it through Brown. Pressure again there from Mansfield.
And interesting, as we said, Geelong are trying to have an extra loose man defence, but they want Mansfield as the loose man. Beveridge is trying to pick him up, and McGrath's the third Geelong player, so really defensive forward work there by Beveridge at the moment.
Bounce down, right on hard against the boundary line, and now the quick kick by Mansfield goes out on the full. So St Kilda doing the attacking at the moment, just 1 goal apiece. Peter Everett, long kick right towards the top of the square, loads the target. Handley does the spoiling and scores just the one behind to St Kilda. 1-1. Geelong the 1 straight goal.
Very encouraging start by St Kilda. Lost to Geelong in the first round. Played very poorly last week, only kicking 4 goals against North Melbourne. Mansfield kicks up towards the half-forward line. Too far for Robbins. It's Young. Lappin will lend support. Good play by Graham, playing on the forward line from full-back. Matthew Robbins kicks to the front of the square. Pushing back is Barnes. He's got it.
An interesting, KB, that attack was initiated from the kick-off received by Mansfield. As I say, it's a loose player there, and really when he's loose down running and Lappin's loose down the other, I mean, Mansfield's an exceptional player comparative to Lappin, young player.
And John Barnes kicks his first goal, the Cats second. A good play by young Matthew Robbins, playing his first game, Lee. He centred that ball nicely.
He showed a bit of pace and kicked the ball well accurately. He gave Barnes, basically was able to position the ball so that Barnes is, see, this is Mansfield got loose from the first kick on, and Robbins was able to run onto the ball, showed good pace once it eluded a couple of St Kilda players, but then he just positioned the ball out in front. So Barnes had that body use. All he had to do was hold his ground, stop Shanahan, back in and mark.
So John Barnes' 12th goal for the season and the second for the Cats. Back at the centre bounce, Vidovic jumps early. Ball unable to go anywhere. Colbert's wild handball spills free, but Beveridge runs onto it. The little round the corner kick towards Lowe. Handley has his covered, and once again is happy to see it over the line and out of bounds. So Handley's opening on Lowe hasn't been too bad at this stage. Geelong bench. Witherscombe, the closest player, Tanner. Peter Everett. Front position. Ball favours his side. Birkin at it hard. McGrath fronts him. Hocking and flicked back over the line by Robert Harvey. Welcome return to the side this week, Robert Harvey. A late withdrawal last week in the game against North Melbourne, a hamstring injury. Shane Wakeland. Two big men again. Everett over the back. Burke, left foot, tosses it up high, gives his forwards a chance. Smith takes it, plays on over the shoulder. Fine.
He must have been a touch play on, was it? I don't think actually Smith would have played on from that position. I suspect the umpire must have called play on, or it came off the hands of the player in front of him before he actually took possession. Don't think it was a clear mark.
A couple of big changes before they bounced the ball. Nicky Winmar pulled out for St Kilda, replaced by Joe McLaren, and also Gary Ablett, replaced by Brewer. Big mark by King. This kid's got an enormous future. Won't turn 18 till November. Goes short and finds young Robbins, who's been very smart early in this first term. Kicks the ball up to Stoneham, who Lee mentioned earlier. Even though he's back in the side, not in his best form. Graham from on 50, kicks to the front of the square once more. This time Shanahan does well, got his hand to the ball. Lappin runs it over.
As we mentioned a couple of times, Lappin being the loose man defence for St Kilda. Actually, Geelong are using the extra man to sort of run the ball out at the moment, and I'm not sure Lappin's quite sure where to play, whether to play sort of deep as a spare man or come up to midfield. I think at the moment that particular ploy is working to Geelong's advantage.
The Cats 2-1-13, the Saints 1-2-8. Some players, Lee, can play a loose man and pick up lots of kicks. They know exactly where to go.
Yeah, there's certain players you give the role to, and certain players you probably think percentages don't go with you.
So Zilla back in the side. It's been a big loss to St Kilda, out injured for a long while. Mansfield goes back, takes the mark. Goes short to Hall. Zilla does well, thumps the ball away. Good strong play. Smith, hands and knees back to Harvey, crashes into Zilla. Still gets the handball away. Cripps did well, kept his eyes on the ball. Smith taken to ground. Stoneham has to offload it. Harvey weaves his way out. Good play by Colbert. Kicked off the ground by Harvey. Back to 50. McGrath kicks out wide. Chance for McKinnon. He's got Aussie Jones to beat, who's quick. McKinnon does well. Kicks a long bomb inside 50. Backing back was Sirakoski. Couldn't take it. Lappin cleans up. So Neil's got a chance to go to a loose player out wide, and it's Tony Brown.
Brown stays on the left foot. His kick falls short. Harvey's there to gather, just steps out nicely, drives long towards low, one hand, can't handle it. Handley's the pressure player, Scholl's there to give the assistance, and a little bit of cheek as well as it goes over the line. Certainly a key player, Stuart Lowe, for St Kilda. When he plays well, St Kilda generally win. Stoneham in ruck here against Everett. Umpire just holding play up momentarily. Now all is in readiness. So the boundary throw-in, some 20 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Hocking, hands to the running Scholl through the centre of the ground. Tosses it out wide. Ball couldn't complete the mark. Pressure from Robert Neal. The boundary line's his friend under pressure, and he does get it. As Bernard Toohey would always say, when in doubt, the boundary line is your best friend when you're a defender. Robbie Neal has really found a niche here at St Kilda after an injury-riddled season last year. It's now slotted in, playing 15 of the 16 games. That's Hocking, who started so well in this match. Another kick. Bounces really in no man's land and over the line again.
Young Jason Cripps got the close checking role on Peter Riccardi. Cripps has done that role reasonably well in a couple of games. I've seen Riccardi such a dangerous player for Geelong.
So the boundary throw in again. Drops down, there's Cripps there with Riccardi, keeps the pressure on him, and the ball just steps over the line and out of bounds through Stephen Zilla. Gary Ayres 5-time premiership player with Hawthorn, now in his second year of coaching with Geelong, and Jeff Geeshan, his assistant. Very tentative in the early stages of the game. Burke and Hall over the line.
It looks like a game of very much one-on-one matchups. Burke has picked up Harvey, Hocking. Harvey's been picked up by Simpson, and Colbert and Daniel seem to be going as a pair, so very much one-on-one, a lot of part of the field.
Down again, stays close to the line. Kilpatrick this time has the talent to be able to get it out with the left foot, but only as far as Lappin.
So Lappin feeds the ball off to Smith. The Cats lead by 5 points, a Geelong player down. Smith goes out wide, looking for Aussie Jones. It's a good mark. He gave away inches. He's kicked 20 goals for the season. Prior to this game, and he's kicked the St Kilda's only goal so far. So the ball deep in the forward line. Harvey didn't hang on to it. Handley just grubs the ball on the ground. He was looking for the boundary line. Smith, who is very cool under pressure, back to Jones. Kicks back looking for Stuart Lowe. Zilla is going to do the shepherding. Brown couldn't get his foot to the ball. Handley falls on top along with Kilpatrick. A ball up just 15 metres out from St Kilda's goal. Stephen Zilla climbs off the ground. Second year of league football from Woodville, West Torrens. He's been a very good player for St Kilda, a good pickup. Taken by Bardsley. Stuart Lowe tries to centre the ball. It's good play back to Vidovic. Stands his ground. Well, he's kicked 4 goals for the season, Lazar Vidovic. Just played the 68 games in 8 seasons of league football. Started with North Melbourne, trained with several other clubs. One of the great characters of Moorabbin. The car salesman from directly in front. Wobbles off the boot. Touched on the line.
It's interesting with Vidovic. Barnes has now come to the ruck. King's strode to full forward, and Gary Hocking has gone down there as well. So Geelong very quickly have changed their whole full forward line with the 2 players in it.
So St Kilda 1 goal 3, and from the kick-off once again, Geelong do it absolutely perfectly. Stoneham was the runner. Graham was unable to take the mark at centre half forward. Hall gives support. Eventually it's back to Graham, and away goes the big left footer. He's got pushing it down there. Big King was in his sights. Burke back in defence with Hocking. Bardsley cleans up. A little back pocket on the left foot on the bounce towards Jones. In turn to Everett. The big man's got space. 1 bounce, looking upfield, decides to come in short towards Lower, doesn't get there. Mansfield, the loose player in defence, cleans it up. Everett takes Stoneham. Umpire allows it to go on. No, he doesn't. Free kick to Stoneham. Towards the wing, Barnes playing up the ground now. Short to Graham. Got some tall timber in the forward line today, the Cats. Graham on the left foot, bounces it in. Hocking feeds off Kilpatrick on the run, can't beat the Zill attacker. Now it's loose, Bardsley again, quick kick, just get the ball out of the area. And fortune favours them, and Zirakowski takes the mark. Neil cleans up now, plays on immediately. McGrath in front, great mark in front of Beveridge.
So McGrath on centre wing. Geelong 2-1-13, St Kilda 1-3-9. He's been dropped a couple of times this year, Tim McGrath. Been a very good player since moving over from North Melbourne. He's finished as high as second in their best and fairest. Back to Hall. Still on the half-forward line, goes short to 50 and finds Graham. And Lee, Graham looks a big chance on the forward line. Well,
he's actually certainly played well in this first 20 minutes of the game. Very lively, had a few good stats, and we know he's prodigious kicking from full back. Now with the pressure of aiming at the goals, let's see how he can go. He should kick the distance quite easily. He'll kick for maybe 55 metres. But it's a very different situation when you've got those big arc rocks that you've got to get the ball through. The pressure's much different.
So Graham from about 60 metres out, it's a big bomb. The distance is there, not the accuracy. Through for a minor score.
It's amazing, isn't it, how kicking for goal puts a different feeling in a player's minds and sort of kicking the ball 60 metres to a teammate downfield. Graham does that easily, but as soon as you put the goals up, the player tightens up.
Often the player playing at fullback, you probably don't see all of his skills because he's got to do some defensive work, but he's looked pretty lively and looks like he's got plenty of flexibility.
He's certainly been good there up to this point of the game.
Shanahan came to Fitzroy from Tasmania as a full forward. Makes his mark at St Kilda as a full back. Scholl kicks back, Barnes sets himself with quick hands across to Tudor. He was under pressure. Burke versus Hocking. That'll be a great duel. Back to Tudor. Should kick a goal. And he does.
Really a great knock on under pressure by Gary Hocking. Really the handball from Barnes put Tudor under a little bit of pressure, but the ball went free, and the old saying, you don't have to take possession of the ball to give it effective disposal. So the little knock on, beautiful, really, just set Tudor up.
Gary Hocking.
He was able to finish up. Yeah, great play by Gary Hocking.
So that knock-on acknowledged by our statistician as an effective handball, and Hocking now 2 kicks and 6 handballs. He's basically been in everything in the opening quarter. Barnes, Colbert overruns it, but Kilpatrick cleans up for him, pushes down towards the forward line. Shanahan in front of King. Overruns the ball, comes back to Shanahan, but the Hocking tackle is strong. Ties it up. Umpire number 30, Shane McInerney. Half forward flank for Geelong. Pushed out wide by Sierakowski. Harvey along the ground. Fed back inside. Great run by Jones. He's done that on a couple of occasions this afternoon. Up the wing. Beveridge getting away from McGrath on that occasion. Wheels in around onto the right foot to Everett. Very good use of the ball from one end of the ground to the other. There's no one up there now for Peter Everett to kick to, and he's forced to hold up. Tony Brown offers one. That's ignored. Harvey Leedy's ignored. Vidovic getting back into the square now. The kick from Everett. It's right to the line. No one can take it. Over it goes. St Kilda, they're 4th behind. St Kilda trailing Geelong by 10 points.
Going to be very important that the tall St Kilda forwards mark the ball, because Geelong, having the extra player, are going to run the ball out once it comes to ground.
Hanley to Scholl in the back pocket. Cats by 10 points, 3-2-20, 1-4-10 St Kilda. High flyer there was Tanner. Back to Neal. Screws around the corner. Mansfield sets himself. So Mansfield has a loose player in Hall, so the Cats can run the ball now. It was good play by Everett, came up quickly. McKinnon ran on, kicks it out wide. McGrath's the target. Back to McKinnon. He's a beautiful long kick, should kick a goal. He's wobbled it, and he's missed.
Got into the goal kicking last week with 3. Martin McKinnon, the former Adelaide Crow player, but great run there.
Well, he's kicked 8 goals for the season, and an interesting pickup by the Cats. South Australian State member last year and a Norwich Rising Star nominee. Here's Burke. He's had a sensational year. He's minding Hocking. It's a great duel, being marked by Mansfield. So rebound football from the Cats. Hall's a target. The high flyer Shanahan fists the ball away. Burke caught high, not paid to Neal. Young, the former Hawk, tries to set it up to Aussie Jones. Been very lively in this first term. Already he's had 5 kicks and taken a couple of marks. So Aussie Jones looks for Stewart low in front versus Hanley. Hanley does well at ground level. Back to Hocking. Cats go very short to McKinnon. So Geelong, after a tardy start, starting to get on top of the Cats. The high flyer is the loose man lapping in defence for St Kilda. Riccardi pounces on the ball. He's already kicked one. Feeds it off the grain. Bang! Great tackle by Lappin. The youngster really wrapped his arms around. Chance for Joel Smith. Plenty of class. Reminds me of Reece Jones. Seems to have all the time in the world. And low marks inside the centre square.
Co-captain St Kilda feeds off to Jones again on the run, but this kick not a good one. Scholl drops the wobbly kick. He has peace of mind to be able to feed it off towards Stoneham. He goes along the ground. It's all the Saints at the moment. Zilla, but Tanner intercepts. Great knock on towards Riccardi. Pushes in towards half forward. Graham giving the Cats a real focal at centre half forward. Handball's off to the left-footed Riccardi. Curls it around, but nowhere near enough.
That's the difference at the moment. Stewart low across half forward for St Kilda. At the moment, Hanley, he's getting caught under the ball, and Hanley's able to leap and punch effectively. And really, the St Kilda players so often are looking up, and really there's not much to kick to across half forward.
Matthew Young brings the ball back into play to Lappin. Towards the wing. Sirakovsky makes the ball. He has Harvey over the top, goes for it, pulls back. Could have been asked to play on from that by the umpire, but wasn't. Now he goes longer, lows the target. Hanley once again, great spoil. Cripps, front position, gets a quick kick in. It's all Cats, Sanderson and Colbert, 2-1 against Smith. Smith works hard, but numbers work out for the Cats. Support there from Stone and Burke. Very good body work against the big fella. Wins out by keeping his feet. Now on to Stoneham's opponent, Everett. Runs inside 50, has a shape at the big ones. Could come over the back. No, Barnes is spoiled, pushes it to the front. It's all Cats. It's Young off the ground. Jason Daniels it is, and the goal umpire wants to give it to him, and does.
Thought for a second there he was going to get a second kick for the tackle after. How many times do we see that these days? Players kick the ball basically in mid-air and it goes through for a goal. That certainly not hand or foot skills. It's just the ability to kick a bouncing over ball in the middle, in the air, yard off the ground. We'll see it here. It's a good again, a defensive spoil by Geelong. Under pressure, Daniels decides not to take possession. Lovely little soccer goal, and something we see fairly often these days.
Jason Daniels playing his 149th game today, so approaching a big milestone next week. Under a minute of action to go in this first term. McKinnon kicks long and deep back inside the forward line. Free kick to St Kilda, not paid. Lappin should get there at ground level ahead of King. He's had a big quarter. This is his 8th possession. He's taken 4 marks. Finds Young on the half-back flank. And a great season since moving across from Hawthorn back to Burke. Leading the Channel 7 award. Low. Drops a sitter for him. Picked up by Harvey. Only seconds remaining. This is the last forward thrust by the Saints. Finds Daniels. Goes wide. Beveridge on a lead. Can't trap it. Bad bounce. McGrath. So St Kilda's last thrust. Beaten by the siren. Been a big opening term. Cats 3-4-22. Lead by 1 straight kick. St Kilda 2-4-16, and a pretty entertaining first quarter lead.
Well, you mentioned Lappin, who was probably the highest possession getter on the ground, and he should be. He's playing loose man in defence for St Kilda, but Mansfield is his opponent up the other end. Lappin's had a little bit more of the ball, but Geelong are a goal in front, so I suppose you can make what you like of how that duel's affected the game. But certainly I always think if you could pick a position in football, loose man in defence would be it. What a fantastic spot to play. But Lappin's done it fairly well, as Mansfield has down the other end. Geelong have got the goal lead. Basically anything in the game, isn't there?
So St Kilda opened with the first goal. Geelong rebound with the 3 goals in the middle, and St Kilda pick up the last through Jason Daniels. Stan Elves would be quite happy with the start, I would think. And so at quarter time, it's a 6-point game. St Kilda 2-4-16, Geelong 3-4-22. Big call on Cripps, on Riccardi. Big call. The start of the second quarter at Waverley Park. Geelong leading by 6 points. 3 goals for, as against St Kilda, 2 goals for. Stephen King, Lazar Vidovic. Vidovic takes the ball out, kicks it high towards centre foot, but Mansfield playing across half back takes the mark for the Cats. Plays on immediately, feeds to McGrath. He on his left foot towards half forward. Spoiled there by Serakowski down. Hall has the front position for Geelong though, but Lappin does the work behind, tackled by Hall. Asks the question, the umpire. Umpire Greg Scroop says no and decides to bounce the ball. Hall, the former West Coast Eagles player and West Perth player, basically came over with Jeff Geeshan. Daniels couldn't get it out. Hockey in amongst it again. Flips it out. A Lappin underground handball towards the boundary line. Harvey wants to keep it back in play. Does so. The eventual kick towards half forward. Lowe couldn't handle the ball. Hocking keeps his feet at ground level. Mansfield swooping around the halfback, looking towards the centre of the ground. No one to give it to. Under pressure. Scholl, Sanderson. They've relieved it now. The ball falls free to half forward for Geelong. Tudor and Barsley. Barsley strong in the one-on-one contest. At the ball, wins the free kick.
So Christian Bardsley, big rumour going around the ground. Ablett didn't want to play today because the word was out that Bardsley was gunning for him. Kicks the ball over the boundary line on the full. That's yet to be substantiated, of course. McKinnon kicks the ball back to the edge of the square and Big King stands his ground. So King kicks down looking for Barnes. He's got it.
Interesting that one. Barnes, he took the mark and threw the ball out in front of him just to sort of get balance and get up again. What if you're allowed to do that? I mean, I know he's not playing on, but I mean, you throw the ball away, the umpire calls you for a throw. Have a look at, let's see what happened there. It's just instinctive reactions. He went to ground. Oh, I didn't quite see it.
So Barnes has kicked 12 goals for the year. He's kicked a goal today. He's averaging just on 6 marks a game. And he's popped it through. So a good start to this second term by the Cats.
Well, it is, and early in the second quarter, and John Barnes, who spent the early part of the first quarter at full forward, kicks his second goal. So that's a good return from Geelong's point of view. And we see King, who marked the ball. I mean, he's only a young fella and just looks so promising. I guess the thing is, from an agility point of view, you never get any better than 17 or 18, I suspect. You'll get bigger and stronger and better. But maybe the agility that he's got that's so outstanding at the moment might go a little bit with age.
So John Barnes' second goal as the stand-in full forward for the absent Gary Ablett. Takes the ball back to the centre of the ground, and Geelong from the centre bounce, push it towards the wing, and Hocking's the kicker, but gives it straight back to his direct opponent in Nathan Burke. Burke for St Kilda towards half forward, looking for Lowe. Down he goes. Couldn't complete the mark. Great effort on hands and knees. Feeds it forward, but King turns it back towards McGrath. McGrath's left foot to the wing position. Serakowski there with Graham. High tackle. Yes, says the umpire. Ben Graham, centre half forward. Handley playing at centre half back. Young boy from Leopold. Left foot inside 50. Barnes goes to flip it over the top. Tudor does the roving, but it falls towards Daniels. He can step out on the right foot. He's dealt with after the kick and down the field.
And that's his tagging opponent, Lee Colbert. Maybe just couldn't resist the temptation there.
Well, yet to have a kick.
Bit of physical pressure on Daniels.
Well, Colbert's yet to have a kick, Lee. He's had the 3 handballs, but Daniels can put big-name players out of the play. Plus, he's kicked the goal himself already. Mansfield, the high flyer. McGrath. Strong across half-back. The kick lets him down.
That loose man defence we spoke of in the first quarter isn't happening this quarter. Both sides have got equal numbers of forwards and defenders.
Lappin now picking up Hall of Geelong after winning 8 possessions in that first quarter. Young Lappin, here's Mansfield. Kicks the ball back towards the half-forward line to space. There's a bad bounce. A free kick is going to St Kilda. So Sierakowski to Cripps. He's got the job on Riccardi. Hanley's doing quite well in the strength department with Stewie Lowe. Lowe does well in the speed department. Grabs Simpson by the leg. Sean Simpson broke his leg in round 21 last year, missed the Cats finals appearances. Maybe better luck this year. Stoneham from behind. Kick come back to Colbert. So vice-captain of the Cats at just 20. There's talk that Port Power is interested in young Lee Colbert as Harvey takes the resultant mark across half-back.
Harvey back inside to his partner in crime in Nathan Burke. And now looking to set something out. Jones, who's done this continually through the afternoon, running from the back line. Drives in towards full forward. It's Beveridge as against Scholl. Scholl does the spoiling. Sanderson at ground level for St Kilda. Under pressure. Smith now with poise. He buys a free kick and gets it. Worked it extremely well there, Joel Smith. For all intents and purposes, allowed Tim McGrath to tackle him. Joel Smith will kick from 50 metres out. Long kick, no, well offline. One of the young guns from the St Kilda side. The Saints really do need the players to deliver now, and this is quite a stage they have this afternoon, a most important game for the Saints. Only 6 wins for the season. Scholl brings the ball out of defence for Geelong. Everett couldn't complete the mark, and it stays right in at his feet. And they're all in there among it. 2 who you would expect to be there, Nathan Burke and Gary Hockey. 3 umpires, Greg Scroop, Shane McInerney, and a first game umpire, Sam Cronje. Harvey, left foot towards Lowe. Hanley again spoils. No spoiling between the 2 grabs. The umpire's saying it was a double grab mark to Lowe and something's on there behind. The little fellas want to have a piece of Barry Stoneham. Stoneham indicating the spoil was in there. Bit of pressure on umpire Shane McInerney there just at the moment. There's some big boys around him.
Yes, it's always an interesting decision that when a player spoils from behind and the player in front has that second grab. Sometimes you'll see a player punch from behind, and if he actually gets the second grab, they'll give him the mark. But I suppose if you're in front, you come down with the ball. Fair enough mark.
So Stuart Lowe, goalless last week for the second time only for the season. Shooting for his first. And unfortunately for the Saints, he remains goalless.
I think that surety at goal here, we see it there. Just a slightly late contact, but I think it was something that might have happened slightly after that caused the ruckus.
St Kilda's first score for the quarter, just a minor score, 2-5-17. The Cats 4-4-28. Handley, good grab. He's doing a good job on Stewie Lowe. Here's the match winner for the Saints, cross to Riccardi. Kicks the ball out in front. It's a beautiful kick. Graham couldn't take it on the second grab, but he's got to push. So Ben Graham, arguably the longest kick in the competition. He's got Barnes in the square. Hall also on a lead. That's been ignored. So Graham from 70 metres out. Kicks to the front of the goal square. Shanahan in front. Young kicks hurriedly back towards the half-back flank. He's got Brown, overruns the ball. Daniels feeds it off to Aussie Jones. Been a pretty important player so far in the game. Back to Brown. He's trying to set it up. He needs a lead further afield. Gets one from Neal. Just no one to kick to across half-forward line there. So Robbie Neal started his career with the Sydney Swans, originally from the ACT. We see Shane Brewer, looks like he might be warming up along with Kilpatrick and Bitterscombe. So the Geelong bench maybe about to be brought into action. 4-4-28 the Cats, 2-5-17 St Kilda. Low in the ruck. Joel Smith, impressive young player. Puts the ball back to Brown. Here's Aussie Jones on 50. Caught. Riccardi. Cripps, bang. In goes Zilla. And we've got a ball up inside 50.
Two young Saints very aggressive at Peter Riccardi on that occasion.
Aussie Jones has had 10 possessions and 2 marks. Been a pretty handy player, and his mate and Joel Smith also 10 possessions and 2 marks.
So 11 points the difference. Lowe takes the ball out of ruck. Kicks over the head. Big Everett's going nowhere. Wrapped up in the Stoneham tackle. Ball spills free. And the umpire now decides to bounce. Scholl, one of the more consistent players for the Cats this year. Bounce. Everett and Stoneham. Stoneham in the second grab. Takes it to Scholl. His kick really just buying some ground. It bounces into territory. Burke flicks it back over with a good piece of play. Daniels in amongst the forward line again. Bounce doesn't favour Lowe. Handley cleans up once again. Only as far as Burke. He has a second chance to set something up for the Saints. This time across the goal towards Lowe. Umpire's right there. Geelong free. He's pinged Stephen Zilla. Zilla on Tanner. They were the pair underneath Lowe and Handley as they came in. Tanner the recipient of the free kick. Blacken, good work on Hall. Towards the top of the square, Everett. Brown for St Kilda in hard. Tanner in for Geelong. Beveridge is there. Sanderson's there. And it's wrapped up again. Double change. Glenn Kilpatrick for Geelong. And Shane Wakeling for St Kilda. Just on 11 minutes to go. St Kilda 30 metres out from goal, really trying to buy one. The umpire being forced to work overtime.
They've got that situation where they've basically got 7 forwards. Geelong had 7 defenders, so St Kilda's put the extra bloke forward in Neil, and it's crowding up the St Kilda forward line. All the space is Geelong's forward area, and the game's being played in St Kilda's forward half, but they're having trouble scoring.
Chance for St Kilda, ball up, just 20 metres out from goal. Big punch there by Everett. Lowe couldn't get his foot to the ball. Forced through for a minor score.
Handley has been very impressive at this stage of the game.
Geelong 4-4-28. St Kilda 2-6-18. McGrath. He's got a loose player. Finds Sanderson. Started his career with the Crows. Was recruited to Collingwood under Lee Matthews. And now finds himself at Geelong. McKinnon forces the ball over. Sanderson, when you got him, Lee, what sort of role did you see him play?
Well, he played as that half-back flanker. He's actually done well at Geelong. He played in the grand final side last year, I think, and he's done okay. A bit better than I suppose we thought he was at the time.
So Neil coming off, and Wakeling coming on for St Kilda. Hocking applies the tackle very aggressively.
Talk about that interesting principle, isn't it, that because Geelong decided to play that extra defender, St Kilda have now decided to push an extra man forward just to sort of even up the numbers, but it's crowding up the St Kilda forward line, and Geelong have got all the space, and they're the ones not going forward that often, but when they do, they look a bit more likely to score.
Burke just pounced on the ball, kicks back towards Beveridge, the big fist away from Scholl. St Kilda, I agree with you, Lee. I think St Kilda's had a lot of the ball, and particularly up on their forward line, but they really haven't made the most of their opportunities and their hard work. So Big Everett and Stoneham, they locked horns a few minutes ago. Everett with the height down towards Harvey, starting to pick up possessions. Does well to get the handball away after going to ground. Colbert caught by Daniels. It's been a good tagging job by Daniels because Lee Colbert's only had the 1 kick and the 3 handballs.
And you don't get away from Jason Daniels when he tackles. There's not many better in the business than he. Well, perhaps Liver. Everett, the big left hand, pushes it out in front of the goal square, but Geelong have the numbers. Sanderson to Mansfield on his non-preferred right foot towards the win position, but Jones comes back to take it. Ball keeps coming out and St Kilda keep pushing it back in. Handley the flyer from behind, spills to ground. McGrath's click. Clearing kick is just too good in actual fact and over the line on the full.
And Stewie Lowe has been caught under the ball, Lee. He hasn't been sort of leading to space.
No, well, at centre forward, it's hard to lead to space, isn't it, as much? Full forward where he has been playing.
Well, he didn't need space on that occasion.
Well, that's why we mention his name, because if you mention a player's name, there's a very good chance he'll get a kick or take a mark or kick a goal.
That was the first time that he also probably had Handley under control in the body contact a little bit. He didn't allow Handley to jump and punch. Handley's just been standing off, not trying to establish body contact, just losing his height and reach to get the fist in. But Lowe was able to just outbody him prior to the ball getting there for the mark.
So Stuart Lowe from right in front. The Saints fans behind the goals like it. He's got his first. St Kilda's first for the second quarter, their third for the game, 3-6 elite, trailing Geelong 4-4.
I think two important points with this. One was the Lowy mark. Really, that's what St Kilda haven't had to this point of the game, the ability for Lowy to mark the ball within scoring distance. Equally important is the fact that he's kicked the goal. I think from a confidence point of view, I think his kicking's got the yips a little bit the last month, and I think the confidence of getting one through is really important.
So Stewie Lowe now has kicked 72 goals for the season. Here's Simpson on the burst out of the centre square. It's a floater, wobbly old kick. Barnes playing in front's got it. And it's interesting with Gary Ablett pulling out of the side. Shanahan may have set himself for the great man. Barnes has taken several good strong marks on the forward line, and Shanahan is very difficult to get around and put out of position.
Yeah, you're probably certainly that mental attitude changes. All of a sudden you've been feeling pretty good if you were Shanahan, that Ablett's not fronting up when you are setting yourself for him, and maybe you're just fractionally a bit more relaxed than you should be against a more unknown opponent.
Maybe not the same respect for John Barnes as he would have for Gary Ablett. And from point-blank range, he's missed. Usually a pretty straight kick too, John Barnes. Bit of talk that he might be one of the players that Carlton could be looking at, or even Essendon. All rumours at this stage. Young goes short to Cripps. Played reserves last year for St Kilda. Kicks the ball out wide where Lappin, who has marked really well today. That's his 6th mark. He's had 10 possessions. Kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line, but Colbert, very strong overhead, and 50 metres.
I think Stewie Lowe thought he was a bit unfortunate then that the ball as much slipped out of his hands as it was intentional not to throw the ball back. And a very long 50-metre penalty, I would say. That's not a good 60.
So Colbert goes short, looking for Barnes this time. Shanahan in front. Good play by Lappin. Got his fist to the ball. Everett does the roving. Back to Lappin. So the kid from Chilton kicks wide and finds Stewie Lowe. Now he's a long way from full forward. He's on the half-back flank. Kicks down. McGrath's in front. Simpson caught. Shrugs the tackle. Handley pumps it back towards the half-forward line. Big Graham takes a very good mark. Now Barnes is in the square. We want it long. That's where Graham puts it. Barnes has got the set. Off hands. Through for a point.
So Ben Graham, 4 marks, 7 kicks, 3 handballs. He's certainly been the focal point at centre half forward. And in the absence of that man, Billy Brownless, he's been taken from defence to play in the forward line. So now it's St Kilda's turn through Young. He has no one to give it to and just hopes that it goes out of bounds, and it does in front of Lee Colbert. St Kilda's second quarter has been very commendable. They've been able to get the ball to the forward line, but space in the forward line has been very, very rare. And Stuart Lowe has been their only goal kicker to date. Simpson couldn't manage the ball from the back. He's pushed out. Cripps now has the advantage over Riccardi, but the pressure from Riccardi is enough for the kick to fall short. Beveridge shrugs it, steps out a little bit slow. He's decked afterwards too high. No, says the umpire, and is all allowed to run out of bounds right against the behind post.
That indecision, didn't know whether to go for the goals or to put it over to Stewie Lowe, and that extra step was enough for the tackle to be laid and pulling off an accurate kick.
Must have been an old back pocket player, because the Rovers would have known what to have done then. Lee, straight for goal.
When it's an open goal, there's not many choices. Straight at him.
An opportunity here for St Kilda, but the Geelong defence is right to the task. Simpson to a half-back. Jones. Very good. McKinnon very angry with himself to allow the little fella to be in the front spot. Jones's kick cut off by Hocking. Looks to the outer side, nothing to give. Has another look, still nothing out there. Comes back towards the members' wing. McKinnon this time is in front. That's much better. Towards Graham. Over the top of he and Serakowski. Young with Riccardi. Cripps. The banana kick, kicks it, keeps it in play. Jones under pressure from Hocking. Cops one across the jaw there too, the little fella. Neville Bruns, Gary Ayres and Jeff Geishan. Ball up centre wing. Vidovic pushes in favour of Zilla, who gives it to Burke. Back inside to Smith. Ball underneath him, and Simpson to Hocking to McGrath, and away go the Cats again.
Testing time for the Cats. Playing against St Kilda. Geelong in 6th spot. Saints 12th. Down inside 50. Barnes flips it over. Good play to Big King. Kicks it over the line on the full.
It's not too bad when your teammates have enough confidence to give the ball to you at 200 centimetres and they think you've got the agility to be able to deal with it.
I reckon he's the best ruck prospect to come into the game since Len Thompson.
And his personal coach is none other than Barry Round. So he has a good tutor there with him.
Burke finds Daniels. Keen to play on. Back to Shanahan. So Shanahan over the top to Daniels. So they've run the ball out of defence short and find Sirakowski. Quick hands back to Daniels. He's already kicked the goal. He fancies himself as a runner. He's off. Jason's had 3 bounces. He can have 4. Runs to 50. Kicks to the square. Stuart Lowe's in the box position. He's got it. Terrific play by Jason Daniels. His mother will be absolutely thrilled. She delivers Meals on Wheels in the Dandenong area. And she is just absolutely excited about this.
And when the ball was in mid-air, you could see the thing was going to just drop with Stuart Lowe, and Hanley had lost contact with him. It was every St Kilda supporter could see 30 metres away that Lowe was going to mark it easily.
She looks after my dad very well. So Stewie Lowe from point-blank range. So scores a level. As we approach half-time, just under 3 minutes of action left in this first half.
And it's that launch out of defence by St Kilda that set that up. Really, when the ball has been going into their forward line a little slowly, I think Geelong have really had a game plan, obviously, of getting their men back in defence and trying to run the ball forward. And well, that's why it's been difficult for St Kilda to score. They've had to score. They've had to do it eventually by Lowe marking the ball, and that's what he's done a couple of times. Kicked accurately, got the couple of goals to get St Kilda level again.
So St Kilda's best piece of team play and probably the best individual effort for the afternoon through Jason Daniels has allowed Stuart Lowe to kick his 2nd goal, and the Saints to rein the Cats back in and scores ball level. Vidovic to Burke, tosses it up towards half forward. Hanley leads in the race of the ball. Lowe sits in behind him. It travels back towards Lowe, keeps it in again. Everett, big man there with him. Wakelands for support. Back over to Lowe on the left foot. He just bangs it down there. And a bang it was. It was really going nowhere. Saints right back in it. Stan Elves, Kelvin Moore to his left. Perhaps the kick should have been a little bit better, Stan thinks. Boundary throw-in, forward pocket for St Kilda. Scores level. Colbert, little give out to Tudor. Left foot up towards Brewer. Pressure from Lappin is enough to have the ball go over the boundary line. So Brewer coming into the side this afternoon when Gary Ablett didn't take his place in the side. The reserves the last 2 weeks, now back in. Handley from behind, low in front. Drops it down towards Bardsley. He's wrapped up by the number of Cats.
Interesting situation, the duel between Nathan Burke and Gary Hocking. Basically where Hocking goes, Burke is going to, so Hocking is initiating where they play, but both have had about 15 odd possessions. Both have been very good ball getters for their respective teams.
Lowe pushes it down. Beveridge on the burst, couldn't control it. Tudor cleans it up for the Cats to Kilpatrick. Away he goes through the centre of the ground. One bounce, now to centre half forward. Floats over the top of Graham. Shanahan in front. The give to Cripps. Now to Burke playing in the back pocket on Hocking. Out wide onto the wing. There's Beveridge. He settles down. The one bounce looks towards Lowe. Doesn't get to him. It's Bardsley. 50th game for Christian Bardsley. Inside 50, Lowe, left hand, couldn't control it. Holds Handley up, the umpire lets it go, it's out of bounds.
Well, the ball game is all tied up, 4-6-30 apiece. Stewie Lowe's booted 2 goals, both coming in this second term. Leading goal kicker for the Cats is John Barnes. He's also kicked 2. Gary Ablett out for the Cats. Winmar didn't take his spot for St Kilda. Daniels kicks the ball back into the pocket, where Stoneham runs it over the line. St Kilda wanted a free kick. They didn't get it. So under a minute of action to go in this first half. So a big chance for St Kilda. Everett and Stoneham. The height of Everett to the front of the pack. Running on is Joel Smith. He can score. St Kilda in front. He's second behind. Actually, he does that well, Everett Lee, in that boundary.
Well, he's certainly got the height, isn't he? I mean, he's a very tall for a ruckman, let alone the key position defenders that he's often rucking against, and his struggles seem to be able to have the run and the stamina to play ruck around the ground, but certainly as a ruck forward, always dangerous at the ruck contest, isn't it?
So Handley kicks the ball out wide. It's a poor kick, and Wakeland sits underneath it. So danger here for the Cats. Lowe's in front. He's got it.
Yeah.
Just a half a minute of action left in this second quarter, and St Kilda have just ground their way to the lead. It was a poor kick out. It set up Wakeland, and that's where Stuart Lowe is very dangerous. He shouldn't miss. He's only 10 metres out, directly in front. Kicked 9 goals against the Cats in the opening game of the season. And St Kilda lost that match. He's kicked his 3rd.
Yes, and really at the moment, St Kilda have now got the scoreboard ticking over. I think probably if you take the half of football played on balance, I would say they've been the better team, probably winning in more positions on the field. Geelong have scored a little bit better from the limited amount of times that they've gone forward, but now that Lowe has started to time his marks and taken that 3 marks and kicked the 3 goals, they're going to be hard to run down, I would think.
So Stuart Lowe with 3 consecutive goals in the second quarter has put his side in front with only seconds remaining now. Harvey, Kilpatrick, pressure from Wakeland. Kick falls to Corbett. That's it. He has a think about it. So never going to score from there, fellas. And St Kilda have really pulled the game back in. Geelong led by 6 points at quarter time. And now it's St Kilda by 7. Luke Beveridge, one of the players across half forward, has worked very, very hard. Russell Green just giving final instructions. John Barnes at full forward, replacing Gary Ablett. 2 goals to date. Hocking matched against Nathan Burke. Hocking 15 disposals. Burke 17. Riccardi, a goal kicker on the wing. So a game that started Geelong's way in the first quarter. It looks as though they were poising themselves to go away with it, but St Kilda have been able to fight right back into the contest. And basically as a result of their big man in the full forward position, Stuart Lowe, but some great run from defence. Jason Daniels set up one of Lowe's goals. Zilla back into the side today has given it a bit of a tough.
Quarter 2, yeah. Starting soon. Well, not too much scoring going on. Now what's going on here? The Hillstones a goal in front. Eagles a goal in front. Carlton 3, and I think 3.
Richmond 3 in front of
Richmond 3 in front. So far, I've got 0 out of 4 today. If they all went according to those.
Oh, you got North Melbourne, didn't you, last night?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about today's. It's amazing how many people went for Brisbane, considering the Eagles have won 11 straight.
Yeah. Start of the third quarter at Waverley Park, and St Kilda lead by 7 points. Gary Ablett on the bench, not in the game whatsoever. Failed to take the place in the side. Shane Brewer comes in as his replacement. Likewise, St Kilda lost Nicky Winmar. Geelong under pressure. Sierakowski clears the ball from centre half back out wide towards Smith and Sanderson. Smith in the front position. Sanderson with height. The spoil favours McKinnon. Wants to get round onto his left. Now does. A little prop kick. Bardsley's up to it, and the spoil on Tudor takes the ball over the line and out of bounds. Geelong led by 6 points at quarter time. And now St Kilda by 7 at half. Vidovic and King. King, right hand down, Cripps on the wing, falls towards Bitterscombe. His first kick, tosses in towards full forward, bounces there for Graham. The big fella casually on the left foot, swings it across, but just the one behind. So the first score to the Cats. St Kilda's lead is now 6 points.
And a couple of the changes. Riccardi's gone into defence to try and break that tag of Cripps. Mansfield's up on the full forward line for Geelong, and Colbert is also to take Daniels out of the play.
Lappin takes his 7th mark. He's been a handy player across half back for the Saints to Shanahan. He's had the one kick. Burke tumbles it down towards the half forward line, beats Wakelin over the line. So no Nicky Winmar today for St Kilda, no Gary Ablett for Geelong. Cats just 1 goal in that second term. St Kilda birded 3 and changed the 6-point deficit into a 7-point lead. Colbert crashes into Burke, taken the ground by Hocking. It's tough in the clinches. Simpson's caught. And there's a bit of feeling. Nathan Burke saying a few words to the ump. St Kilda 5-7-37, Geelong 4-7-31. Umpire Shane McInerney puts the ball down. Vidovic taken away by Hocking. Burke versus Hocking's been a big contest all day in Brewers, Mark. Started on the interchange. Coming to the side for Gary Ablett, kicks to the front of the square. Big fist away by Young. Daniels, who's done a couple of great passages of play today. He's also kicked the goal, but a great run just towards half-time gave St Kilda a goal. Aussie Jones takes on McKinnon outside the line. Just in his second season of league football, Aussie Jones kicked 21 goals for the season, playing his 36th game today. Lazar Vidovic, front of the pack, Kilpatrick runs it over.
Interesting situation off the screen. Peter Riccardi, who's now basically playing half-back flank. Whichever St Kilda player is matched up to is being instructed to go deep into the forward line to try and take Riccardi out of that, away from that half-back line. And Geelong keep changing, so it's a little cat and mouse going on.
Geelong bench there, and the boundary throw-in. Half forward for Geelong. Hocking hard up against the boundary line, draws the ball back towards the front of the square, and it's Mansfield. Right player in the right spot there. Just in front as that high kick from Hocking dropped. Has been a bit of a goal kicker this year. He's kicked bags of 5 and 4. The left footer, very deliberate. He's got it. Geelong's first goal for quite a while.
Well, they kicked the first goal of the second term just after a few minutes, so it's well over a quarter of football, Lee.
Yes, and it was the right position, really. It was playing in front of... It's been one of those dull, overcast, heavy conditions, not heavy ground, but heavy atmosphere, and the ball's often dropping short today, and I think you're playing in front, so the ball tends to be dropping short much more often than it carries long, and that's where Mansfield position himself and mark it.
Scores a level 5-7, 37 apiece. Big King beaten by Vidovic. Pouncing the ball was Wakeling, bowled over. Biddiscombe started also on the bench. Pretty handy player. Hocking. Back to Biddiscombe. Goes short. Graham's the target. Sirakoski does well. Good, strong play. Crashes through both Biddiscombe and Brewer. It's taken over the line. David Sirakoski, his dad, of course, Brian, played for St Kilda in their only premiership win back in 1966. Came across from Subiaco under the father and son rule. Vidovic starting to get on top in the ruck. Cripps crashes into McGrath. Takes the ball straight back over the line. And we see Wakeling going off and Neil coming on. So the scoreboard, 37 points apiece. Harvey runs away from Hocking, gets good support from Neil, goes down towards half forward. Terrific mark by Joel Smith. Got wonderful ability. So the youngster from Yarrawonga pumps the ball deep. Stewie Lowe's his target. Good fist away by Handley. Brown, can he pounce on it? He's on his preferred kicking foot. Hooks it around. And a free kick's being paid for holding. It's going to Handley.
Stephen Handley has the job on Stuart Lowe. And in the first quarter, certainly honours went to Handley, but the second quarter belonged to Lowe with 3 goals to his side. Pushed out towards half-back. Biddiscombe, number 30 for Geelong. Zilla finally ends up with Jones. He'll use the ball. It's over the head of every... Falls free. Sanderson couldn't handle it. Brown, number 2 for the Saints, is there in second after Sanderson went in hard. Stoneham. Sanderson stands up, steps out. Away he goes. The kick in front of Shoal and over the line and out of bounds. So Geelong, having come into this game with the second best attack in the competition, and really St Kilda to be able to hold them to 5 goals at this stage has been a very good effort. Joey McLaren on the bench. Was the player to come into the side for Nicky Winmar. Everett's palm down is taken by Simpson. The ex-Saint pushes it up towards the wing, but Vidovic. Big, strong ruckman for the Saints. Movement is scarce at half forward. Decides to go in short, finds Robbie Neal. Everett's down in the next line. Goes towards that play. He's caught behind. Well judged. Well judged. Steps around onto the left. He now looks for Lowe. He gets away. Got it. Very good work there from Lowe. The kick from Everett just had sufficient amount of air for Lowe to be able to judge it, take Hanley just ever so slightly out of the contest, and then go again to mark.
Yeah, so when he's been able to beat Hanley, it's when he's been able to sort of just drop him off by that yard or two, or establish the body contact to prevent him. Whenever Hanley's been just to be able to jump and spoil, he's mostly done that. But Lowe's body work was good then.
Stuart Lowe. He's got 3. He's got 4. He's got the Saints in front.
Yeah, and it was a good play by Everett, really, to play the ball on quickly. Got the ball out to the front of the goals. It was a good driving kick by Neal, and Everett just judged the ball better, but came round onto his left foot. Was just able to put the ball so that Lowe had his body between the ball or where the ball was going and Hanley. And it was just that he was able to time his run into the ball to prevent Hanley getting it there.
And Gary Ayres has probably got to weigh up the question whether he moves Hanley. He's had 4 goals kicked on him now. And since the first quarter, Stuart Lowe has got on top. He kicked 9 goals against the Cats in the first game of the season. So we may even see Barry Stoneham picking up Stuart Lowe soon. Hocking on screen. Still picking up possessions. 18 for the match. He's had a big duel with Nathan Burke, who's also had 18. Vidovic starting to get his hand on the ball first. Hocking. Caught by Harvey. Driven into the ground. Sanderson. Takes the pressure off the Cats and kicks the ball long back inside the forward line. So some danger signs here for St Kilda. Brewer's got pace. Just needs a kind bounce. He's got Young to get around. Caught by Lappin. Quick hands to Kilpatrick. Zilla shovels the ball out to Lappin, to Matthew Young. So St Kilda working hard in defence. Back towards the centre wing. It's a race on. Bitterscombe versus Aussie Jones. Make that McKinnon. Kicks a poor one, sets up Joel Smith, who can use it. Kicks high ball, out comes Big Everett in front, he's got it! Everett keen to play on quickly. Nathan Burke's loose. The kick had too much carry. Burke gets his boot to ball. Scholl can't handle it. Through for a point.
We have 3 ex-coaches here. I'm ready to make the move. I want to do Stoneham and Hanley. They need to swap over now. KB?
Well, look, I think it's worth a go, because Stuart Lowe just looks to be just too dangerous at the moment.
And Lee?
Well, I think Hanley's done a fairly good job when he's had an opportunity to get his hand there, but nevertheless, you look at the statistics. Lowe's had about 12 or 13 kicks and 8 or 9 marks, so I think 4 goals, so I think that's an opportune time.
Here it goes back into the forward line. Ball falls free in the contest. Toss back out, and Barnes this time coming right down the ground. Having a run on the ball in the ruck. Towards the wing position. Bitterscombe. Found a niche in the side, has played the last 8 games. Off to Sanderson. Towards the wing. Shanahan well down the ground, and with great aggression barges through. Jones out to Bardsley. Here come the Saints again. You can't stop them. Tosses it up. It's low. It's Hanley. It's neither. It's at the ground level. Beveridge can't get a go at it. Free kick. Ooh. The tide is turning against this man here, Stephen Hanley.
Fair amount of pressure on a defender when you've got someone with the marking ability of Stuart Lowe, and you keep kicking long balls into the goal square.
Now he's got 5. Stuart Lowe has kicked the last 5 goals for St Kilda. And the others belong to Ozzie Jones and Jason Daniels.
And all the momentum of the game is with St Kilda. I didn't quite see what this free kick was for. I'll be interested to watch the replay myself. But really, all the impetus up the field's coming from St Kilda. They're just pushing the ball forward so often. And the long, hard, and again, this situation, Lowe got the spoil in. Oh, gee, I can't see where the free kick is there.
I think the umpire, Lee, has paid it against Scholl, who's come front on to Stuart Lowe, but gee whiz, he really didn't take enough contact on him or really take his eyes off the ball. So I think it was a pretty soft free kick. Mansfield in front, chance for Hall, inside 50, St Kilda's desperate now. Lappin dives on top of it, Shanahan pushes Hocking away. So some spirit here for St Kilda. And young Lappin there from Chiltern. Looks like on a windy day he'd be blown away, but he's played a darn good game. He's had 14 possessions. He's had 7 marks. Here's Cripps. Had the job on Riccardi since the opening bounce. Oh, great mark to McGrath. Hanley not quite ready for the quick hands. Kicks back. Graham couldn't take it. Riccardi. Maybe a bit of magic. Kicks the ball out in front. Mansfield's the target. He's got it. His second goal for the term coming up. And we've seen it lots of times, Lee, when Mansfield's pushed forward and he's become a goal kicker.
Yes, against Collingwood about 4 or 5 years ago. He kicked about 7, I can remember, but he is a very dangerous one-on-one player. I mean, this was a situation where he wasn't able to mark the ball, but he's very agile at ground level, and often that second effort is where he'll actually score from. We'll see here the ball went to ground okay, but very agile to hold his feet. Read where the bounce of the ball was, and it was certainly a badly needed goal by Geelong. They just really very tough to get the score going for them.
So Mansfield 2 third-quarter goals, as has Stuart done, Lowe done for St Kilda, and now it's the Saints' turn again. This is a great break from the centre. Ozzie Jones 2 bounces inside 50, goes bang. Cross to the right-hand side. There's something going on for St Kilda here now. There's a real spark about their game. They hold an 8-point lead over Geelong. Betting money was with Geelong prior to the game. Ablett going out. May have swung a little bit St Kilda's way, but then Winmar didn't take his place either. Geelong under pressure. Stonen gives it to Patrick. Steps out of trouble to centre half forward. Graham couldn't complete it. Lappin's at the ground level. Barnes. Brewer. Lappin pressures him. Steps up. Brewer gets out. He's got 2 out, 3. He's given it to Hocking. Hocking 1-2. Steps on the left and misses.
KB, when that happened, I thought of your old coach Tommy Hayfield, who says never kick non-dominant side if you can straighten up and kick with your good foot, and that was probably a classic example of that from Hocking. Good left foot kick, but I bet you he would have kicked it if he'd kicked it right foot.
Lee, that's exactly what was going through my mind. Pulled off the ball by Burke. Hocking over the ball. Can he make that culvert? So ball up just outside 50 for Geelong. And the Cats trail St Kilda 7-9-51 to 6-8-44. Vidovic's been terrific in this third term for St Kilda. Kilpatrick runs the ball over the line. In fact, it's come off his boot. Has it? Yep. Kilpatrick thought he got a push.
Coughlin on for St Kilda. Robert Neal off.
Nathan Burke having a great season for St Kilda. Playing his 197th game today. So a big milestone coming up. Vidovic. Ozzie Jones. This kid's got tremendous ability. It's been a star today. Kicks down and Beveridge's mark. That'll be 50. That's stupid play. That's why coaches go grey. Or lose their hair.
Well, we could see from up here that there were St Kilda players flowing forward. I don't know whether Scholl just tried to be too aggressive on the mark so that Beveridge couldn't play on, but can't afford to give away the 50s because it becomes an absolute certain goal from this point.
So St Kilda now 13 points in front.
Yes, and it's a bit of an alternation going on with the key forwards. So often Lowe will drop back and play full forward, and Everett will push up the ground, but more at the centre bounces. Lowe is more often playing that little bit further up the field, but I think, you know, they're trying to get him as a marking target in the forward 50, but really I think it's the ground level play, the midfield duels in the main are going St Kilda's way.
So Luke Beveridge's first goal for the afternoon. St Kilda stretch their lead to 13 points. Hocking from the centre of the ground on the left foot. Graham Sierakowski pushes it over the back. He has support from Matthew Young, so very well done. Brown, Bitterscombe. Hall steps around, runs in, lines up. He needs to goal for the Cats, and he has. Hall's first for the afternoon, 20 for the season, and the Cats keep coming back.
Oh, I think the key situation here was the St Kilda player. I think it was Daniels who came away from that pack and basically had threes, and we'll see this bit of play here. I think it was Daniels who ended up with, well, Matthew Young, wasn't it? No, it was Young. And he kicked the ball basically the other flank to a 50-50 contest. You see Burke, who was on his own in the forefront of the screen, and basically once Geelong won possession, really, they were within a scoring shot from goal, and it was an accurate kick.
The Saints by 7 points. Vidovic thumps the ball forward, taken by McGrath. Trying to get there first is Tudor. He's got a lot of pace. Bardsley grabs him in a bear hug. Harvey back to Burke. The two veterans combined. Back to Zilla. Pumps the ball down. Everett pushing and shoving. Barnes over the top. Gets a good fist to the ball. And certainly the key defenders of Geelong need support from Jon Boer-Ruckman just to help out, because Everett and Stuart Lowe are very strong overhead. Stuart Lowe's booted 5 goals, 3 in the second term, 2 in this third term. Beveridge ducks his head. Kick ricochets back from Handley. Trying to crash his way through is Sanderson. Caught in a bear hug by Joel Smith. 8-9-57 St Kilda. Geelong 7-8-50. We see young Matthew Robbins warming up on the bench. Started on the field, his first game of league football today. It's in the pocket for St Kilda. So danger here. Caught high was Harvey. Gives it across to Smith. And he rams it home. First goal today, but he's been a darn good player, Lee.
Saying he has been, Smithy's been pretty good, but really it was set up by Harvey, the way he extricated the ball from the pack. And one of the things I think we talk about Robert Harvey is just how hard he is to tackle, just that sidestep, that ability to weave, and that was just brute strength, really. Probably a high tackle, but he broke, what, 3 tackles and eventually set up Smith, who was the St Kilda player on the end of the finishing kick.
So Joel Smith's first goal. Robert Harvey, a welcome return to the side after missing last week with a hamstring injury. And the Saints on fire. Jones off the ground. Bounces over the top of Smith's head. Bitterscombe cleans up for Geelong, but not well enough. Hocking now under pressure, this way, that way. Sanderson pressured by Brown. Ball towards the boundary line. Smith spins around, even off his own teammate. Lowe can't complete a low one. Oh, Scholl wears one across the forehead and will pick up the free kick. No, not against you, Stewie. Geelong defence looking to play on. Away they come to Barnes. Towards centre for a very average kick. Makes it hard for Graham. He can't get away from Sierakowski. Robbins in there with him. Bardsley's in there with Sierakowski, and those two win out. Kicks towards the wing. It's got space. Stoneham leads in the race and happy to go over the boundary line. Beveridge asks a question of the umpire. Did he do it deliberately? No, says the umpire. The sole captain for Geelong on the ground today, Barry Stoneham. Hocking, an ex-captain. And umpire Sam Tronje, his first game of AFL football, Western Australian-based umpire. So, start of what may be a long and promising career for him. Stoneham, little step and little give to Simpson. He across the body. McKinnon spoils it and then loses it. Hall knows where it is and steps around onto his left foot. Out towards Graham. Sierakowski has him covered. Sierakowski will just sit there, bundle him over the line. And now with Young's assistance, the ball goes over the line.
Gary Ayres, along with Jeff Geeshan. A little bit of concern in the Geelong coaching box. They trail by 13 points. Graham in the ruck against Vidovic. He's had a great third term. Lappin. Quick kick back to the centre square. Playing in front is Sanderson. Young caught with the ball. Make that Daniels. Jason Daniels has kicked a goal today. Was involved in a terrific piece of play just before the half-time siren when he carried the ball from defence, resulting in a goal to St Kilda. Here's a free kick going to Lazar Vidovic. He's taken on the big men of Geelong today, and particularly in this third term, he's been a dominating player. Smith. All class back to Young. Stuart Lowe's in front. Now at ground level. He's kicked 5, caught by Handley. Loose ball, Barnes. Gets support from McGrath to Scholl. He slips over at that critical moment. Backed up by McGrath, who does well, finds Kilpatrick. So the former Bomber, the Gary Medal winner last year in South Australia, finds Brewer, another former South Australian. Plenty of space. Can he set it up? Vidovic, with all the time in the world, back to Sierakowski. So Saints can kick the ball. So Barsley, it's keepings off. Back to Lappin. He's taken 8 marks. He's had 16 possessions. And this time, finds Sierakowski.
Russian roulette down there.
Bardsley, at long last, a bit of dash out of defence. It's a high ball, McLaren in front.
I could feel the tension up here between the three of us.
I was thinking of Stan Elves in the coach's box.
Mucking around in that defensive 50, you've got to get it clear some stage, don't you?
Waiting for the mistake. Cripps back towards the half-forward line. Beveridge in front. Here's a chance. Zilla, tough and strong. Inside 50. Everett sets himself low over the top. Well, he's been sensational. He was well beaten in the first quarter, Lee, but since then he's been the dominating player. Well,
when he's had a chance to just have a run and a jump at the ball, I said early in the game, he seemed to be caught under it a lot, and Hanley was just his height and his reach was able to spoil. But in this kind of situation where Stewie just had the real run and met the ball pretty much at full pace, there was nothing Hanley could do.
Well, he kicked 3 goals in that second quarter. He's kicked 2 so far in this third term. So Stewie Lowe from 15 metres out has kicked his 6th goal.
And they have scooted away a bit, St Kilda. 19-point lead and looking pretty strong. Their defence and their midfield's pretty good. Lee Colbert had spent some time on interchange. He's back onto the ground now. Ben Graham, in fact, has gone off. Colbert has gone to centre half forward. At least he's broken the tag on Daniels. Stan Elves has to ask the question, do I put Daniels back onto Colbert now or leave our centre half back Sierakowski? And I think he's staying with Sierakowski at the moment.
Well, when St Kilda wins, Stuart Lowe averages over 6 goals. The moment he's right on it and the Saints are on fire. Geelong have to come up with an answer at this stage of the third quarter. With St Kilda from half-back, win the ball back towards the centre wing. Barnes gives his side an opportunity, but Lappin in front of Hall has the aggression to go forward. Perhaps not as effective as we would want it to be, but now the Saints win it through numbers. Tossed up to the forward pocket. It's Handley and Lowe. The big fella takes it, quite prepared to toss it around. He's asking a lot of Zilla, and Barnes comes over the top.
interesting, the confidence, isn't it? Barnes decided to thump the ball through from 10 metres out. I think maybe hasn't had a fantastic year, John Barnes. I think if his confidence up, I think he just would have jumped into it and, pretty simple third up mark for a big fella.
Handley finds Barnes. Slowing play down. Robbie Neal waiting on the interchange line. This is an indication that Geelong they've got a lot of problems. They can't work it away from the back pocket. Barnes to Brewer. Gives him the problem to deal with. His wobbly kick falls short of Simpson. His wobbly handball falls short of Bitterscone. His wobbly one puts Simpson under pressure, but finally they're away. But not too far at all. Vidovic standing his ground on the wing towards centre half forward. Spills free. Young tosses it up. It's wide of Lowe. Handley has the front position. He gives it up too easily. Lowe takes it. Top of the square. No one's there. We're going to have to work hard. McGrath over the back. Only does give it back to Jones. He goes this way and that way and finds Smith. Hesitation by the Geelong defence. St.Kilda with a centre victory. And they were a long, long way out. 30 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Joel Smith, 1 goal, 2 to his name. And now it's 1 goal, 3.
Interesting game, isn't it, when their atmosphere is heavy like it is. Very dull, overcast day. It really does, the ball doesn't travel as far. I mean, players today are struggling to kick the ball, accurately over 50 metres.
Handley kicks out wide and finds Barnes. Well, St Kilda have been very good today as we see Barnes goes to ground. They've had their star players at Lowe, Burke and Harvey all firing. Their youngsters in Smith, Jones and Lappin have been outstanding. And the veteran Vidovic has controlled this third term in the big man department. And we can see there, Barnes goes down. Laser's only played 68 games in 8 seasons. As the siren sounds, we're in a very good third term. St Kilda has turned their 7-point lead into a 21-point margin. At three-quarter time, 10-11-71. Geelong 7-8-50. And Laser on screen there being spoken to by the umpire. Lazar, I should say, not Laser. Lazar.
It's Geelong that are playing for the high-up finals berth, but all the spirits in the St Kilda team, isn't it? I mean, football is a week-to-week game. I mean, sometimes you say there's more incentive if you're playing for a finals berth, but I sometimes think most players tend to prepare for, the 2.5 hours of a specific game, and that's all you're worried about. What hangs on the end of it, or the following weeks, matters little.
Before going onto the ground after the match.
Start of the final quarter at Waverley in front of 24,000 people. St Kilda lead by 21 points. And Gary Ayres at three-quarter time really asking the question of his players. Giving physical demonstrations of tackling at the three-quarter time huddle. Gives an indication he's very concerned about the way in which his players have worked in hard at the contest. Because St Kilda certainly have had the advantage there. Lappin, one of the good players for St Kilda. His wild handball doesn't go to Burke. Colbert in underneath, and it's all tied up again.
The interesting thing at three-quarter time, Colbert's at centre half forward, and his opponent in the first half, Daniels on a half-back flank, and Russell Green, the St Kilda runner, is out there to swap them over, get Daniels back onto the player that he had interchanged earlier on.
So there's Colbert now with his kick across the body. Sierakowski playing at centre half back. Stoneham steps around on the left foot, tosses it up towards the Voten goal square, and it's through. The big cat's got his first and got the first for his side in the last quarter.
Maybe this is where the finals momentum starts to, or finals incentive starts to count when it gets into the last quarter and the crunch is on. Stoneham's gone to centre-half forward, so he's been shifted out of defence, and they've got a full forward line, Geelong, of Riccardi and Mansfield. It's a dual full forwards, two medium-sized full forwards, so they've changed their side around enormously since the start of the game, and Graham is back at full back.
St Kilda by 15 points. Gary Ablett came out of the Geelong side before the game, and Nicky Winmar also for St Kilda. So both sides playing without their superstars. Here comes Nathan Burke right on 50. Everett's got the box seat, punched away, front of the pack. Brown, back to Stewie Lowe. He's booted 6 goals. He's off target. One behind. So Graham, who started the game at centre-half forward, has swapped now with Barry Stoneham. Hanley's had the job on Stewie Lowe all day. Graham looks for Handley. Chipping in, taking the mark is Robert Harvey. He's had 16 possessions. Looks like he's hurt himself. So his first game back from injury. So he can't take the kick.
You don't like seeing that, do you?
So young Matthew Lappin.
And I think the umpire rightly is making sure that if Harvey, he should take the kick unless he's really incapacitated. He just can't walk away, but the umpire's deciding not to be pedantic and let Lappin take the kick.
18 possessions to Lappin. He's taken 11 marks, punched away by Barnes at ground level. Kilpatrick back to Scholl. So the Cats out of trouble, but Harvey backing back takes the mark.
His knees improved remarkably well.
Well, he's just had a drink of Lourdes water and he's come good. To Young, goes very short to Burke. Back to Young, he'll run to 50. Everett and Lowe, the two marking giants. Scholl cleans up, goes short to Tanner. So Geelong led by 6 points at quarter time, trail by 7 points at half time, 21 points at three-quarter time. As Barnes goes wide and finds Colbert. They now trail by 16 points, Lee Colbert. Jason Daniels was his opponent early. He was beaten, lowered his colours, back of the pack. Harvey on one leg, picking up possessions. Lappin, a youngster with a future. Wants to go short to Young. Happy to see it go over the line.
As the lights come on at Waverley, it's been quite dark. Heavy overcast afternoon. No rain. Stoneham from behind. Flips it over with the right hand. Kilpatrick tries to do likewise, eventually does to McKinnon. His handball on the up is just out into the open. Daniels beats Colbert to Harvey, to Burke. Riccardi, great run, great tackle, dropping the ball, advantage to Tanner. He's off, he wants someone at full forward. It's Mansfield, can't complete it. Vidovic to Young, to Bardsley. He goes bang, pushes out wide. Really didn't want Smith, just wanted anybody, but it's rebound off Joel Smith's foot. Over the line, out of bounds on the full. Sanderson's free kick. Quickly on, in short to Brewer. Under pressure, couldn't handle it. Barnes chips up towards Stoneham. Sarakoski, the spoiler. Barry Stoneham began the game in defence and now in the forward line. 21-point deficit at three-quarter time. Been reined in by 6 points. Stoneham. Tudor. Hocking. Asks for the free, doesn't get it, but gets the ball back on the left foot. Gary's kicked it. Hocking's first goal. Geelong, the 2 goals of the quarter.
Starting to push on a bit now, Geelong, and they need their good players really to lift and Stoneham kicked the first goal when he went to centre-half forward, and Gary Hocking, who's probably lowered his colours to Nathan Burke, although he's still been a good player, Hocking, and to make the goal out of this flurry of bodies, quick kick forward and a goal, and Geelong are starting to come home at St Kilda.
23 possessions to Gary Hocking. He's had a big duel with Nathan Burke, who's also had 22. Barnes versus Vidovic. Barnes taps on. Jones. Wild handball to Burke, back to Harvey. The Stars combine. Kicks down towards 50. Punch away. McGrath there. Wakeland can kick it off the ground. Can he set up Nathan Burke inside 50? This is a big play for St Kilda. From behind. (10-13, 73). St Kilda. Geelong 9-8, 62. Graham kicks out wide to Barnes. Started the game at full forward. He's kicked 2 goals. Young King now on the interchange bench out towards Stoneham. There's been a lot of changes. Sirakoski just with strength tumbles the ball forward. Has been marked by Brown. So Stewie Lowe is the danger for the Cats up forward. He's kicked 6. Big Everett's got the sit. Terrific play by Simpson.
That's a good mark, isn't it? In the face of the big fella bearing down upon you.
Simpson started the game as Harvey's minder to Hocking. To Barnes. So the mobility of Barnes in this last quarter, vital to the Cats' success. Kicks down in front. McKinnon. Tanner pounced on it. Kicks long inside 50. Riccardi's in front. Punched away by Cripps. And a free kick to the Cats. We'll go to Mansfield.
We mentioned the Hocking-Burke duel. It's interesting, isn't it? Hocking kicked that goal out of the pack. Nathan Burke has a shot from 30 metres out and kicked it behind. It's the difference in conversion is just as important as how many times you touch it in the first place, isn't it?
Mansfield started in defence, moved up forward in that third term, kicked 2 goals. He could be the match winner. He's kicked 3. So after 8.5 minutes of this final term, St Kilda now lead by just 5 points after starting 21 points in front.
Yes, the momentum has changed. For the majority of the game, St Kilda have looked like the better team, and Geelong have just been hanging on, but all of a sudden now they look much more dangerous in the forward line. Geelong, importantly, have been kicking goals. St Kilda have been a little bit inaccurate, and that's given Geelong the lead-in.
Geelong 3 goals in 9 minutes. St Kilda yet to put a major on the board in this last quarter. Here's their chance. With Scholl behind Brown, the better judgment takes the mark. Feeds out wide to McGrath. The short left foot kick finds Graham. Back in his usual post in defence. Stoneham, the body work on Sirakoski is illegal, says umpire Screw. Sirakoski, one of 5 changes to the St Kilda side from last week. His kick wobbles towards the wing. Young unable to complete it, but finally it gets to Harvey. Back to Sirakoski. He has another go at it. But again, doesn't really make much headway with it. And Scholl in defence to Handley. To the 50-metre line. Sirakoski. The ball's coming down his way enough. Off to Young. 1 bounce. Shepherding from behind by his teammates, but a terrible skill error. Matthew Young, who has really been one of the better players for the Saints all year, in a critical period of the game, unable to complete the kick.
Bit of a panic look about St Kilda, isn't it? The last 5 minutes, they're going forward, kicking the ball straight to Geelong players. All of a sudden, they really need the composure to think the way through this Geelong challenge, which has been mounted.
Craig Bitterscombe. Centre half forward, Barnes unable to complete it. Burke in at ground level. Tanner's there with him. Hocking's there with him. Free kick to Burke. To Bardsley, 50-game player. 5 games in 2 years with North Melbourne. Peter Jones. And herein lies a little bit of an indication of the difference. In the first half, Jones was taking these and running. This time he's propped Trying to get some movement now, runs across the ground, puts the ball back from where it came. Shanahan up the wing. Daniels. There's only one option up the ground and he has to go for it. It's Wakeland. He's covered by Brewer eventually. Kilpatrick overruns it. Zilla, number 19, steps out towards Lowe's, got him. Great piece of work from Zilla. Lowe goes in short. Zilla's come all the way. It's a fucking...
A pretty poor effort. Really. Yeah, they were outnumbered, and Stan Ells, I think, agrees with you, Terry. It wasn't a very good effort, but we can laugh about it. Poor old Stan, he has to chew his fingernails over it.
So McGrath in the back pocket. The Cats with the momentum. St Kilda squandering chances. Low from behind. He's been great. He's kicked 6. 50. And he's got 50.
Gary Hock would like to dig a hole and crawl in it at the moment. It was a bad 50 metres to give away at this stage of the game, and obviously very unnecessary. It certainly wasn't intentional, but encroached on the mark, and that was enough for the umpire to play that decision.
There he is, looking disconsolate there. Bit of respite here for St Kilda. Stewie Lowe will kick his 7th goal. And it'll put the Saints 11 points up. He's kicked 71 goals for the season coming in. He's now got 78.
Well, that might be just the morale booster for St Kilda. Certainly Geelong were coming on strong, and Gary Hocking has been very much part of it this last quarter, been a great impetus for them, but giving away that 50 metres penalty, and basically it turns a 70-metre shot to a teammate into a 15-metre shot at goal, and a very poor act of discipline, I'm sure.
Hocking was dragged on 3 occasions last week by coach Gary Ayres for disciplinary action. But this time Ayres decides to leave him on the ground, and Hocking responds by taking the centre bounce break, driving it into the forward line. Mansfield's tackle is not rewarded. Lappin relieves the pressure for St Kilda. Back to the centre, but only as far as Simpson. Pushes out wide. Hall. Find Hocking on this occasion. Bit of scum at ground level. Joey McLaren on for his first run for St Kilda, right there with him. Geelong came out and kicked the first of 3 goals of the quarter. And St Kilda now pick up with their first through Stuart Lowe. The difference, 11 points. Smith breaks away from half-back. Handley does the spoiling on Lowe. Here, Stuart Lowe, Stephen Handley have been at it all day. Glenn Coghlan, a couple of runs. Now on the interchange there with Luke Beveridge. Lowe 7 goals. Handley in the front position. Lowe credited with the hit out. Simpson to Sanderson. Over the wing position behind is Stoneham. Centre-half forward's looked a little bit better since he's been there. He kicks to the true centre-half forward position. Tanner. The most unlikely marker at centre-half forward, but he's up to the occasion. And Grant Tanner right in front. Will kick from 45 metres out. St Kilda's lead is 11 points at this stage. Very deliberate in his approach. Tanner, he's kicked his first. Geelong edging their way back. St Kilda can't shake it. It's still a close game.
I think that's their 4th goal straight for the quarter, and that's important, isn't it? When they made their surge Geelong, they kicked accurately when they had the opportunity, and 4 straight goals, still within a kick of the game. Obviously anyone's game at the moment. It's a matter of which side can keep their nerve and find a bit of run in their legs when they're getting tired late in the game.
St Kilda by 5 points. Stoneham's made a difference up forward. They've got a bit of punch now across centre half forward. Gary Ayres barking instructions. Barry Round, the ruck coach, the former Brownlow medalist. Barnes in the ruck, wins the tap. That'll bring a smile around his face. Kicked off the ground by Hocking. Tudor's got a lot of pace. So's Bardsley. Kicked over. It's on the full. So a big chance now for the Cats. Scholl kicks back to 50. Riccardi in front. Ball punched over by Cripps. Cripps has had the job on Peter Riccardi all day. Riccardi's just kicked 1 goal. That came in the first quarter. St Kilda led by 21 points at 3-quarter time. They now lead by 5. Hall, who's been on the interchange bench, back to Brewer, came in for Ablett. Trying to set it up. Too high for Stoneham. Wakeland. It's a hurried kick out of defence. Ozzie Jones is in hot pursuit. He's been a terrific player for St Kilda. And that's an absolute shocker. Just under pressure. The youngster not able to handle it.
He was trying to bounce the ball out of bounds, but misplaced the first bounce of the ball and it was out.
Tanner. So it's 1 for the high flyers. Mansfield. Burke. Tough. Back to Daniels. Shanahan's under pressure, does well. Burke, he's got 2 to beat. They want a free kick, St Kilda fans. Hocking sets it up. Tudor's got it.
Well, I thought St Kilda fans are probably right. I thought Burke was basically tackled or pushed in the back when he wasn't on the ball, but umpires let it go. He would see the situation. I would have thought
the exercise.
That was probably a free kick. Oh, well, the luck's turning Geelong's way. Maybe that's it.
Lee Tudor kicked the goal in the first term from just inside 50. He's missed.
Conditions starting to deteriorate here at Waverley Park with light rain falling for the last 5 minutes. The difference just 4 points between these two sides. Young out to Lappin, to Cripps. He along the wing looking for Lowe. Handley's up to the spoil again. Stoneham's there and it's over the line out of bounds. Geelong have had the advantage over St Kilda. They've won 10 of the past 12 games against St Kilda and have won the past 4 games at Waverley Park between these two sides. But at the moment it's the Saints with their nose in front. Hocking from the boundary throw in. Inside 50 the kick goes. Judah roving. Riccardi tries to feed him, but Bardsley's up to the task. Great pace around the body. Barnes setting the wall up just outside 50. Very experienced ruckman now, John Barnes. Career starting at Essendon way back in 1987. His side needs a goal now. The distance stretches him, it's just the one behind. Barnes has 2 goals for the afternoon, equaling his best efforts this season. It's the 5th time he's kicked 2. But what they wouldn't give to perhaps have Gary Ablett out there, their leading goal scorer. 53 for the season. But Geelong must do without him. Bardsley to Young. Back to Bardsley. The ball just slips as he bounces it. He's good enough to regain it. Pushes out wide. Lappin's the runner and look at him go. Poise and balance on the left foot. Gone for Everett. Hit the back. He slips when Simpson's right there. The left footer clears it out wide. Smith. Plays on immediately. He bangs it back in. Lower Everett. Everett, you've got it.
He's a great ball handler, Joel Smith.
Yes, it was really a pressured kick out of the Geelong defence, so maybe they didn't have the choice, but if you do those sloppy kicks out of defence and they go to a one-on-one contest and the ball's turned over, well, the ball goes back in and your defence doesn't have a chance to regroup and balance himself and man up properly.
So Peter Everett going for his first. He's got it. St Kilda stretch it back out again. 9 points.
Just able to keep getting the answering goal. St Kilda, it's anyone's game. It's a real struggle of a game. But players look tired. The ball isn't flowing all that much. It's really just hard work, just grafting it out. And really, I think it's a matter of who can make the least number of mistakes in a way. The goals are more coming from opposition areas than really flows of good play.
St Kilda by 9 points, under 6 minutes of action left. Everett's first goal for the game. Stewie Lowe's booted 7 for St Kilda. Mansfield 3 for Geelong. Gary Ablett pulled out of the Cats side before the game. Nicky Winmar for St Kilda. So 2 superstars missing. Hocking. Been very good in this last term. Gets the ball back towards centre half forward. Hall couldn't take it. Here's Kilpatrick inside 50. Riccardi's in front. Cripps has been his shadow all day. Shanahan takes it over the line. So young Lappin coming off. Beveridge coming on for St Kilda. Young Lappin. 23 possessions, 10 marks today. Beveridge is a goal kicker. Simpson. It's one in the square. Barnes the high flyer. Not the full distance.
Not sure what happened. I think the umpire probably thought it went far enough. He obviously judged that Barnes didn't take a clear mark. There were so many players around, I couldn't quite see it. I don't think the umpire could either. He chose to be a bit conservative rather than playing the mark.
Well, I thought he took the mark cleanly. It was clearly a mark. Neal trying to crash his way through, so's Wakeland. (12-13) 85 St Kilda, 11-10 76 Geelong. So a big chance for the Cats. Colbert taken over the line. St Kilda trailed by 6 points at quarter time, led by 7 points at half time. Increased that to 21 points at three-quarter time. Hanging on to a 9-point lead. Barnes wins the tap to Simpson. It's desperate in the clinches now.
It's exactly that situation where you don't want to give away that undisciplined free kick, don't you? I mean, it's such a tight game. You've just got to keep your cool, keep your composure, play the percentages.
20 metres out from Geelong's goal. Barnes. Kick is smothered. Harvey, was he held? Yes, he was.
So Robert Harvey for his 10th kick for the day. Matched up with 12 handballs. No, it wasn't his 10th kick. It was still 9 and it's 13 handballs now as he goes to Cripps. He does the running in the slippery conditions. 3 bounces outside 50. Good kick. Beveridge just onto the ground. A long way up from goal though. Still on the defensive half of the ground for his side. Now to half forward. Bitterscombe, good spoil, straight to the boundary. Nathan Burke there inspiring his side. Stan Elves, Kelvin Moore. Under 4 minutes of play left. Harvey steps out. How does he find the space? On to Burke. Going for goal. He's put it right to the square. Brown. Where you go, boy? Tony Brown's first. St Kilda consecutive goals and stretch the lead to 15.
Yes, and one think they'd be just about home now. Be very surprised if Geelong could kick the 3 goals now that they need to overtake them, really. And with Jason Cripps, who ran the ball out of defence, he's kept Riccardi to, 9 possessions and been fairly good offensive player himself. That's been a very good matchup for St Kilda. Pretty much an unknown player in Cripps, keeping a good player in Riccardi down to a very average game.
St Kilda by 15 points. The Cats got within 4 in this last quarter. Hocking out of the centre square. Daniels, quick kick. Barnes can trap it. Taps down to McGrath. St Kilda ferocious now. They sense victory. Kilpatrick punches the ball on. Daniels slips the tackle. Goes wide to Young. He's got a loose player. Tony Brown. He's the Saints' hero. He just kicked the last goal. Out in front, Stuart Lowe. So Lowe's kicked 7. Kicked 3 goals in the second quarter. 3 goals in the third quarter. And 1 in this last term. And wonderful play by Tony Brown.
Yes, it was. He got clear. Basically, it was the turnover down the other end, and he found the space. Was able to run with the ball. Wasn't sure what to do with it. Put the ball out in front of Lowe, and Lowe was good enough to be given a chance to mark it. And those big hands grabbed it at the first go.
Stewie Lowe, the unstoppable, going for goal number 8. Just misses. They've withstood the pressure, Lee.
They have, yes. Geelong put the pressure on early, kicked the first 4 goals, or kicked 4 goals in the quarter. But
the kick in falls short to Lowe. He returns it to Brown, and he now has missed as well. So Lowe and Brown combining on the last 2 push forwards by St Kilda. 2 behinds resulting. Graham, I'm sure, will go longer this time. He does. Goes over Lowe's head towards Barnes. Falls to Brewer, but the ricochet favours Jones. He's got his mate Smith out wide. The slippery ball eludes him. Hanley slips. Conditions difficult. Young looking for the up handball. And the umpire allows it to be thrown in. Last time these 2 sides met in round 1, Lowe kicked 9, Ablett kicked 6. Ablett didn't play for another 5 weeks and is not playing today, so Lowe has the stage. Burke forces it forward. Graham in front, charges out and meets the ball. Back towards the wing. Great work, Harvey. Jones, been a very busy player, Jones. 19 kicks, 4 handballs. Testing the Geelong defence. Everett's in front, Lowe's in the middle. Comes to ground, Sanderson. Quick kick out. St Kilda has structured up well. And this time it's Zilla. Stephen Zilla, one of the hard men at the ball for St Kilda. Just a lot of football with an ankle injury. A welcome return. 1 of 5 changes. Came in with Lappin, Sierakowski, Harvey and McLaren. Stephen Zilla. The Saints are there now. No problem whatsoever. Zilla's first goal, and the Saints well and truly home with under the minute to go.
Yes, and again, it's that quick kick out of defence. If you're going to kick it blind, as I think it was Sanderson did, got to really go for the boundary. Bring it back in the centre corridor. It's just a 50-50 where it's going to go to, and if it goes to an opposition player, well, it's a free shot at goal.
Stephen Zilla on screen, his first game back from injury. He's only played the 6 games for the season, so he missed 11 weeks. Aussie Jones can run onto the ball. This will be a great finish for the Saints because the kid's been a star. Just off target. He's an electrifying player, Lee.
I think they're pretty quick side, St Kilda. If their good players play well, if Burke and Harvey are good round the midfield and Lowe, can score multiple goals for them, they've got a bit of speed around the edges with Jones and Smith and guys like that. And today, that's really been the difference, I would think.
Harvey traps it. I just think they're a bit like Sydney last year. They might be just one season away from being a really, really good side. There's the siren. A celebratory drink there for coach Dan Alves. A disappointing day for Geelong. They got within 4 points in the last quarter. St Kilda answered the challenge. 14-16, 100 the Saints. Geelong 11-10, 76. With Stuart Lowe being the star up forward. He booted 7 goals. He was the only multiple goal kicker for the Saints. For the Geelong side, Mansfield's kicked 3, Barnes kicked 2. But it's a very impressive win for St Kilda. But Geelong a little bit shaky now, Lee.
Well, they are, yes, I think so. I mean, they're still probably entrenched in the 8, but